somebody wants to start their English language journey at home, I think it's quite an easy process now compared to how it used to be when things were offline. So now you can start with anything. You can start with the conversation videos. That's what I personally prefer, because as an audience, if I think like if I'm watching somebody else's channel, what really gets me hooked and engaged is the conversational videos, because that's basically two people having casual conversations. And that's what genuinely helps one improve, because at the end of the day, okay, you're learning English, but why are you learning that? You're learning that to have real time conversation with somebody else in English, right? So that's the reason why I think conversational um, channels that focus on English learning are really really good. And the second thing, actually the second thing is the more important one, I would say, is reading books. It does not have to be grammar. I know so many people take grammar as a subject, like something that they have to learn, and I get it. I completely get it, because I felt the same. So they can start with anything. If somebody is into fictional novels, they can start with that. But that's just how I started, because um, I know some people are into like storytelling and stuff, like how they enjoy these things so much. So start with the fictional novels, and I understand how some people can find the language written in novels quite difficult, especially when the authors are native speakers. So I would recommend you can start with the Indian authors. There are a lot of them out there. So start with that, and then you can gradually upgrade to the native speakers. And yes, I think that, and apart from that, yes, one more thing is like, obviously, you might not have the environment around you that everybody's speaking English language. I get it. So what you can do is create that environment for yourself. You can do that, for example, like consuming content in English. Start watching English movies. You love movies, watch any kind of genre in English with the captions, obviously, because when you start doing that, understanding their accent.
Hello, very good afternoon, ma'am. How are you doing today?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. How about you? How are you doing?
Yes, so I'm fit as a fiddle and doing fantabulous from my end by the grace of Almighty God. And thanks for your kind concern.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for inviting me, actually. I had been meaning to connect you for quite some time, and then you ended up texting me. So I thought like that's a great opportunity, because I was going to reach out to you anyway. So that's a pleasure, truly a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, feeling is mutual. In fact, I have watched some of your videos on your channel, and from there only I thought of to connect with you. Today, I would say I'm very fortunate that I'm just talking to you. Before I dive into the conversation, I want you to please introduce yourself for my audience so that they would know about you, like what you do and what exactly you upload in your channel, something like that.
Okay. So hello, my name is Niyati, and I have recently started this YouTube channel where I have casual conversation with people. Um, it's for improving their fluency as well as helping myself in a way. And when it comes to my education, I've done my BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering. For masters, I went to IIT Kharagpur, although I felt like it was not truly my passion. So I dropped out, and then I was rediscovering myself, like, what am I truly passionate about? And that's when I thought, like, why not start a YouTube channel? Because my mother is also an English enthusiast, and she has been in this field and she's been learning this language. And I know exactly the things that she's struggling with. So I thought, why not create a channel? Because YouTube is a community where like so many people can connect, and I'm truly grateful to this platform. So I thought maybe this is something that I want to do. And so that's the reason why I've started this channel. And I've been receiving a lot of love from the audience, and I'm truly grateful for that, which gives me a boost in confidence that maybe this is something that I truly want to do. And when it comes to my hobbies, I love to sing, although I'm not really that good at it, but yes, I love to sing. And I love to read books. I love reading novels, fictional novels mostly, but I'm trying to switch my genre a little bit towards self development books, because I know that they are really good for you when it comes to your personality development. So that's all about me.
Wow, that's really an amazing and captivating introduction you have given about yourself. And I'm being delighted in order to have this fruitful and colorful conversation with you. Secondly, I really appreciate the level which you are putting effort from your end in order to groom your spoken English skills. At the same time, you have been helping to others as well through your YouTube videos, which you have been uploading in your channel. That's really a great idea. So let me quickly introduce myself as well. Well, my name is Shiv, and I born and raised in Uttarakhand. I hope you heard about it. It's a very beautiful state in the northern part of India.
Yes.
Moreover, by profession, I'm a government employee. And as far as my academic qualification concerned, I'm done with my Master in English, Master in Commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my Master in Economics. In addition to this, I do help people by just taking some free of cost sessions somewhere on different online platforms. And I have my own workshop group there. I take my own session in order to help all those beginners and internet speakers who have been struggling with different problems. And yes, I run my own YouTube channel by the name of English with Teacher Shiv, where I upload spoken English content at the same time some one-on-one conversation videos. So that's all from my end.
Okay, so that's quite an introduction. You're holding multiple master's degrees. That's quite impressive. And I also wanted to mention, I truly love your accent, like quite off the topic, but where did you get that accent from?
I would say I'm not sure how did you start your English journey, but in my case, I started learning this language with the help of an application where I have interacted with so many native speakers of English around the world, and not intentionally, but unconsciously. I got this accent, like I got bit influence of their accent on my spoken English. Otherwise, I'm not more into an accent and all. I do believe on correct pronunciation, which simply means that if you know how to pronounce a word correctly, as it has to be pronounced, so you would be understandable to everyone, no matter now what, like which part of globe he or she belongs to. That's all
Exactly.
about my accent. Yeah.
That's quite
And
impressive.
yeah, and today I just want to ask you one question. I think I've asked this question to many people before, but I didn't get expected answer from them. So I thought of to ask this question to you. My question for you is, what do you think, like if anyone wants to learn English at home only, like he or she doesn't want to go outside somewhere in order to master this language. So what are the resources, techniques, and methodology one can go for to master English at home only?
Okay. So first of all, I would say, like, as we know the situation, ever since COVID hit, everything went online. And yes, it obviously had its drawbacks, but I also think that it's a good thing that everything kind of went online, because now you are getting access to all these things online. You don't have to go out somewhere if that's a problem for you. So I think if somebody wants to start their English language journey at home, I think it's quite an easy process now compared to how it used to be when things were offline. So now you can start with anything. You can start with the conversational videos. That's what I personally prefer, because as an audience, if I think like if I'm watching somebody else's channel, what really gets me hooked and engaged is the conversational videos, because that's basically two people having casual conversations. And that's what genuinely helps one improve, because at the end of the day, okay, you're learning English, but why are you learning that? You're learning that to have real time conversation with somebody else in English, right? So that's the reason why I think conversational um, channels that focus on English learning are really really good. And the second thing, actually the second thing is the more important one, I would say, is reading books. It does not have to be grammar. I know so many people take grammar as a subject, like something that they have to learn, and I get it. I completely get it, because I felt the same. So they can start with anything. If somebody is into fictional novels, they can start with that. But that's just how I started, because um, I know some people are into like storytelling and stuff, like how they enjoy these things so much. So start with the fictional novels, and I understand how some people can find the language written in novels quite difficult, especially the when the authors are native speakers. So I would recommend you can start with the Indian authors. There are a lot of them out there. So start with that, and then you can gradually upgrade to the native speakers. And yes, I think that, and apart from that, yes, one more thing is like, obviously, you might not have the environment around you that everybody's speaking English language. I get it. So what you can do is create that environment for yourself. You can do that, for example, like consuming content in English. Start watching English movies. You love movies, watch any kind of genre in English with the captions, obviously, because when you start doing that, understanding their accent can be quite difficult. That was for me, at least that was the case when I started. And yes, then you get habitual to those things because you're surrounding yourself with all these things. You enjoy music, great, start with songs in English. That's what I did as well. And that tremendously helped me so much in improving in this language without even realizing that I'm like, I have to put in hard work, because I never did. I took them as hobbies, and that's how I reached where I am. So that's, and I didn't go out anywhere to learn English language. That's exactly how I did. I learned at home, just this way. So that's what I would suggest to other people as well.
Wow, that's really incredible. The way you started answering a question, then you have covered all the imperative points in a chronological manner. I'm totally flabbergasted because I'm feeling essentially that you already got this dream that I'm about to answer this question to you, and you have come up with your complete preparation in order to answer this question. Superb.
Thank you. So, well, it was quite easy to answer because I know what exactly people are going through, because I have went through that. So I just knew the answer. Like, obviously everybody's journey is different, and I completely respect like whatever approach they want to pursue. But this is just something that I personally felt more connected to. So that's why I felt like sharing that with the audience.
Two, 110% agree with you. Well, I can resonate my story or my opinion about this question with your thoughts, whatever you have shared just now. Well, in my case as well, you won't believe I had completed my whole education in my own native language, Hindi, and I'm from a rural area, right? So I hope you can understand how difficult it is for a Hindi medium school or student to cover the journey of being fluent in English. I started from zero, I started from scratches, and you won't believe I didn't take any tuitions, I didn't take any classes, any subscription, anything, or I didn't hire any mentor for myself. So, coming back to the main question that how one can learn English at home. So, yes, whatever you have shared, let me add some points from my end. I believe that first of all, you just need to inculcate a burning desire inside you that you have to learn it, anyhow at any cost. I must suggest to everyone just find out one powerful reason for himself or herself in order to bring fluent in this language. Because until or unless you don't know the answer of your why, that why do you want to learn English, you cannot fly, right? The second thing is that it doesn't matter what Niyati is following, what Shiv is following, what someone else is following. You just need to find your best approach. What works for me? Listen to everyone, then just do some experiment, and based on that experiment, try to find your best pattern, which definitely works for you. Don't follow the things blindly, right? If someone is saying that do this at your home, so it's not like that you have to follow those things blindly. Okay, just do some experiment and then stick on your basic formula or basic methodology that literally working for you. The third thing is that there are, I think, three boundaries. Let me start from the basic one. The first stage is you can start talking to yourself first, like inside the room. Start talking to yourself. For that, you can go for mirror practice. That's the best technique or option one can go for, where you have to talk no matter what, whatever comes in your mind. You can talk about your dreams, you can talk about your stories, you can talk about anything what you love to talk about. Then second phase is like out of your room, and you can start talking with people, like with your family members, with your kids, with your siblings. That's how you can create a natural environment for yourself at home only. Because I'm damn sure your family members are not going to criticize you for your mistakes or anything that you are afraid of. Now, third phase is out of your home, right? So I know whenever you are going outside, it's all about learning English at home only. But whenever you feel that, okay, in my office, I have someone with whom I can talk. So just at your office only, you can speak with him. Like whatever you have learned at home, theoretically, this is the time that you have to put all those theoretical aspect into the practical, right? Now, next one, I feel as we are in 2025, and we do have plethora of online applications which we can use in order to improve our spoken English. For example, Ace Fluency, then English Vartaj and Jules Token, likewise, so many else, right? So we can just take free subscription where you can find people like you. You can practice and you will be very comfortable at the same time confident that, okay, fine, he is beginner, I'm also a beginner. So I don't have any problem in order to have conversation with him or her. So this is how you can gain your confidence with your insight. Now, third thing is that AI is in trend these days, right? Like artificial intelligence. There are so many AI applications, for example, ChatGPT, then Meta AI, and Gemini, and CV application. You can just choose any application and ask anything, whatever you have doubt in your mind in order to learn English. You can just, find out some role play over there. You can learn vocabulary from there. You can improve your writing from there. You can talk with them, and that's how you can improve your spoken English. All right. I know it won't give you the exact feeling of real time speaking, but at least for the sake of your practice to train your mouth muscles, you can go for it. The next one is there are so many communities or groups which are available in WhatsApp, Telegram, or other social media platforms as well. Try to join those communities where you can find partners and with whom you can practice. If you are female and you feel that you are not comfortable with male person, so you can join those female groups only where homemakers and those who are really want to learn English. You feel like I'm talking to someone who's from my family, right? And that kind of feeling you will get, and you will not feel any kind of hesitation or shyness in order to practice with them. Then next thing I can say, as you have mentioned, listening, because before be a good speaker, one must be a good listener first. So try to listen some audiobooks, podcast, English content. And it would be great if you follow some YouTube channel which are based on English, right? Those who are really prominent and to whom you consider like by following these videos or these YouTubers, I'm going to elevate my level to the extreme one. So go for that and watch their video, whatever they are teaching you, try to acquire it and incorporate the same stuff in your day-to-day spoken English. Now, last but not least, I would say it's all depend on you. Basically, English is based on 4 modules, LRWS, and one I can add on, that is T. So L for listening, R reading, then W for writing, and S for speaking. Like T means think in English. So whenever you are doing anything at your home, try to think in English. And for example, if you are doing work in kitchen, so whatever you are cooking, try to speak in English. Whatever, no matter whether you are speaking right or wrong, that's fine. At least you are just speaking, right? And you can just level up all the items which are at your home, like salt, then chili, then pepper, then whatever stuff there are at your home, right? And it would be good if you start reading some books on a daily basis. As you have mentioned, it's not all about fiction novels, no. Whatever you want to read about, you go for it, but make sure that it should be in English. And reading is not like passive reading, it should be active listening. Means when you're reading, it should be out loud so that you can improve your pronunciation, you can understand the way the sound has to be enunciated, right? And yes, writing is something which definitely improve your accuracy. Because I have seen many people, they are speaking English, but they make blunder. Minor mistakes are accepted, but when someone is making blunder, it sounds so awkward. So if you start writing on a daily basis, that's how you would understand that how can I put all the theoretical grammar rules that I have been learning into practical. Because when you write, first you think and then you write. When you write, you think first and you start writing. The same process you have to follow when you speak. When I'm talking to you, I'm just thinking and then I'm speaking, right? The same thing you can just do while writing. And speaking itself is a great option that you want to learn spoken English because if you want to learn swimming, so you have to dive into the water. And if you want to learn driving, so you have to drive. By reading books and by watching videos about those stuff, you cannot learn anything. So ultimately, it's all about you. If you believe that, yes, I can learn and I have to learn, definitely there is no such power in the world who can stop you to being fluent in this language at your home only by using all these resources. And here I'm done.
Exactly. And I love the point that you mentioned about thinking because most of the people do not mention that point, thinking in English. And I also forgot to mention that because that's personally where I started from as well. People can think it's weird, like, how do we think in English? I think that's a habit that you can develop eventually over time. Because for me also, it was weird. Like, how do you just think in English? It's not quite possible, right? Because you're not able to speak English at the moment. You are not in the command of this English language. How do you just think in English? But I think just like creating this environment around you, you can eventually start because now it's become a habit that I personally think in English all the time. And I don't even realize that. Like, for example, if I have to do some particular things and then we are thinking like, okay, we have to do this and this and this, and then I realize, well, I just said that in English to myself. And like, I'm truly grateful to my hobbies again. Like, this journey is something that I did not start with a strong will to just learn English, but that just happened because of the environment that I created around myself. So that's some that I'm really grateful for. And the other point that you mentioned I really liked is like talking to yourself in English language, because I know a lot of people out there feel like they are going to get judged. Although they are not going to get judged, we are here to learn, everybody. Like, I can assure you that, but still, people are going to have that fear, and that's completely okay. That's where you start learning with yourself. You can just talk to yourself in mirror, or you can just have a chat with yourself, or one more thing I would suggest is you could record yourself while you're talking to yourself, so then you can replay the recording and then you can figure out like these are the points where I feel like I might need to improve. So yeah, these are really good points that you mentioned, sir, for sure. Like, if somebody follows these, definitely they are going to get a command over this language.
True, ma'am. I do agree with your points. But one thing that I want to say that I have I've seen many people in their initial stage, they all are so enthusiastic and exuberant in order to improve their spoken English. But I don't know why by the time the graphs start getting down, like they are losing their interest in order to learn English. Rather, they are indulging themselves into useless stuff, even though in online platforms, right? They have taken paid subscription, they have paid money, but rather practicing on a serious note, genuinely. They have been doing some, useless activities over there. And then they are expecting improvement, and that's not possible. Secondly, we have been listening to many trainers, teachers, like do this. But at the end of the day, what we are doing, like we are not implementing all those tips and tricks in our spoken English. And we are expecting result, and that's not possible. So one must has to understand the imperativeness or indispensable value of putting things into implementation every single day. Here, the discipline comes into picture where you have to be very disciplined towards your practice. If you have decided like I'll speak at least for 20 minutes every single day in order to train my mouth muscles to speak English as I have been speaking my own native language since my childhood. So you have to train your mouth muscle. So you have to do that practice, no matter what. Any occasion, any festival, any party, everything is okay, but you should be stick or you should maintain that level of persistence or consistency which is needed over there. And I have seen, as you have pointed out, the point of thinking English. When I started learning this language, I used to translate the things. From translation, I started my journey, frankly speaking. But I didn't get those results as I was expecting from my end. And one of my colleagues, actually, she was literally damn good in English. She was like pro at spoken English. She suggested me that why you are following that conventional and traditional method of translation? Why don't you upgrade yourself? Why don't you start developing some modified and latest techniques to improve your spoken English? Why don't you start thinking English? From that point only, I started thinking English. And you don't believe, whenever I'm going for morning walk, evening walk, I'm going to market for purchasing anything, right? There as well, like whatever I'm just watching around me, whatever I'm looking around me, I'm just thinking English, everything. I'm just imagining like, okay, she is walking, what a good picture, what a search like that. And I'm talking to myself inside my brain. And the same thing I used to do when I started my journey after 3 months, that time as well. And you won't believe, like I have seen a dramatic and drastic improvement by following this technique of thinking English. So that's what I can suggest to everyone, that go for it. Known that in initial stage you would think like, how can I think in English? It's impossible. But I believe once you will start doing this, slowly and gradually, little by little, one day for sure, you would be accustomed to follow this technique of thinking English in order to improve your spoken English, not from a single angle, but holistically, you can see a very magical change in your spoken part.
Right, for sure. I completely agree with you, sir.
Yes, and ma'am, here I'm done with my question that I wanted to ask you. If still you have something that you want to ask, so you can go for it. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session.
Okay. Yeah, there's one thing that I would like to ask you. Obviously, you have a really good audience, and like I love how you interact with them. But what's the most common thing that where they get stuck and you feel like, what's your exact approach for solving those issues?
Well, I feel only one thing about them, that is fear of making mistake and being judged by others. That's the only problem, frankly speaking. The one who is going to forget about these things, frankly speaking, he can become the best version of himself and he can set an example for others as well, the same who have been struggling with this problem. So I have shared a lot of things with them. I have shared a lot of tips and tricks with them that we are humans, we are not God, and humans are more than welcome to make mistakes. And tell me the name of one single guy to whom you can consider like he or she is the one who never makes mistake. Everyone makes mistake. And if someone is making this disclaimer that I don't make a single mistake, so in this case, either he is a god or he must be lying. So accept your mistake, right? Embrace your mistake with both hands and fix it as soon as possible. And I can bet you, one day for sure, you are going to become a flawless, eloquent, proficient speaker. That's what I feel.
Exactly.
Yes. So, okay, ma'am, thank you for connecting with me, giving your precious time. It was literally a very lovely, fruitful, stupendous, and constructive session with you, which I have enjoyed a lot. Hopefully, you as well. So,
Yes, sir,
looking forward
likewise.
to have
The
another
feelings are
conversation.
mutual. For sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me on your channel. Truly an honor.
Yeah, most welcome, ma'am. See you around and keep shining. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.